This is Edward, son of the truth in the last days. Today I'm uploading this video because there's an important prophetic news in the end time. There's a minister in Africa named Robert Mawire, and he received the prophetic word from God in 1990s, and God told him to meet Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, and at the time he was a prime minister of Israel, and this minister met a person who will introduce him to Benjamin Netanyahu. So a meeting was set up, and then so this minister conveyed this message from God to him, saying, "Do not sweat the land of Israel for peace. This land is the land God gave to Israel forever. So be strong and do not sweat the land for peace. Otherwise, you will be removed from the power." But Netanyahu at the time laughed about it. He didn't believe it. So he went ahead and swept a little piece of land afterwards. And the next year, there was a non-confidence vote in the Knesset, and his government disintegrated. And apparently, he also received the prophetic word from God for Ariel Sharon, and he met him, and he told him, "Do not sweep the land for peace, otherwise God will strike you." And Ariel Sharon went ahead and gave the Gaza, Palestine, and shortly after that he was struck into coma, and after 8 years he died. So after that, Robert received another word from Benjamin Netanyahu. So this time Netanyahu took it seriously and granted him a meeting again. And then in that second meeting, he told him that you will be the prime minister of Israel again. And when you get elected, do not sweep the land for peace, and be strong and courageous. Another important thing the minister said to him was that you will be the prime minister for the restoration of the tabernacle of David. The tabernacle of David was actually a tent, like a mobile tent, in which the Levites carried out all the sacrifices. But the David was always said in his heart that he was residing in the palace, and he wanted to build a temple for God too. So he had a desire to build a temple. So I think what the restoration of the tabernacle of David means is rebuilding of the Jerusalem temple. So if that prophetic message from God is true, then I believe that the Jewish temple will be rebuilt while the Netanyahu is in the office. So what that means is that the next election is in November 5th, 2019. So I think there's a good chance that if something happens, or if there's a movement to rebuild the Jerusalem temple in a critical time, then Benjamin Netanyahu might approve the rebuilding of the Jerusalem temple, because now he takes the word of God seriously, and he received the word from God. So during his term, he might approve the rebuilding of Jerusalem temple, because there's no guarantee that he might be re-elected. So there's a good chance, I think, that might happen during this term, before the next election. So now it all depends on the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Will he stand firm and do not negotiate the land swap, or will he succumb to the international pressure? Now Palestine is calling for the division of Jerusalem, and they want to take hold of the ownership of the East Jerusalem, where the Dome of the Rock now sits. And that's what the international community wants. But I think Benjamin Netanyahu right now standing firm about the land of Israel, and I believe this time he won't allow the Jerusalem to be divided. I think he won't allow an inch of land of Israel to be swept for peace. So I ask you to pray for Benjamin Netanyahu to stand strong with God. And now in the last video I told you that in the Jewish boy Nathan's vision, he saw that the Messiah was in Israel already. And in his vision he saw that Obama will attack Israel. And in the Bible it says the prince of the people will destroy the sanctuary. So I believe that before that war happens, the Jewish temple will be rebuilt. And there's a good chance that before the next election of Israel, the Jewish temple might be rebuilt. So this is becoming a critical time. So I urge you to check your faith, ask Jesus for his guidance in the end time so that you can escape all these things that will happen in the end time, including great tribulation, so that you can stand before Jesus. I wish you blessings from the Lord.